So let me ask you: could you tell who? Was it easy to identify the people that wouldn't last?
No,
No,
not for me.
okay.
I mean, we had a guy that was a God, he was arena football, just total
Jock.
stud.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a monster. You know, a guy get on the pull-up bar and he could go forever, right?
yeah,
And he was a big guy.
yeah.
And he was a good runner and he was decent in the water. And, you know, physically, he was a specimen, right?
Yeah.
Essentially a pro athlete going
Yeah.
into training. And everybody thought that he'd make it through and he'd
The
crush
poster
it.
child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then on the first night of Hell Week, the first time that we
This
were
is still in the
cold
first
water.
segment.
Yeah, this is I think Hell Week. I'm not sure where it is now, but for us, I think it was week 3 of first phase. And on the first night of Hell Week, he was gone.
Cold water.
He was gone.
Cold water will take the will out of you.
Cold, wet, miserable.
Yeah.
But when the instructors were standing over him saying, "Yep, this is what it's going to be for the next 6 days, nonstop," he just something clicked, and he was like, "I'm gone." Right. And when you see that, when you see people that your expectations are up here for them, but maybe their psychological makeup is different, and they end up quitting, and deciding it's not for them. And it's, as you go through that training, it's a lot of people get exposed to things and they start getting uncomfortable with what it is they're going to be doing. And once they really realize what's involved, not just in training, but after training, when you're working in the teams, a lot of them leave. And we don't hold it against them, because a lot of those guys leave naval special warfare and they go into other branches of the Navy and absolutely crush it. Absolutely crush it. So
you got to want that lifestyle too,
Yeah, well, there's a respect of anybody that steps through that front door. We all respect each other and realize it's not for everybody.
Did you ever come close to ringing the bell?
I did not, and I'm not saying that to like beat my chest or anything.
No.
It was. And everybody has a different perspective of what it takes to make it through something like that. For me, it was just having this mindset that I might get hurt. I might get hurt bad. I might get medically rolled or medically disenrolled or pulled out of training. But no matter what, I am not going to go ring that bell.
You alluded to something beforehand, and it didn't pass me by, and I wanted to pick up on it. You said you know a lot of people think buds, that's gotta suck, but you had fun, which is almost a perverted thing to say. But I think I know what you're talking about. What was it where you felt comfortable? Were you comfortable with the environment of adversity?
Yeah, not by myself though. I mean, any of those things at Buds, if you had done that to me by myself, that's a whole different conversation. But when you're with these guys, and every day, every hour, every minute, you're getting tighter and tighter with these guys, and you're all going through that adversity together, that is incredible. And I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun, because in the back of your mind, no matter how bad it gets, it is just training. It is just training. And I'm not saying it was easy, but I'm saying it was fun, because later on in my career, when we had to do really hard things, it definitely was not fun. But that prepares you for things you have to do in the future. A
friend of mine
sharing those experiences.
A friend of mine who's also a project management expert once wrote a book on the emotional toll that projects takes on one, especially in dynamic markets with disruptive technology and all that kind of stuff. We use the acronym VUCA, which stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. It could be a military term, but she coined the term what's called the permanent state of emergency. And this is something that I've experienced a little bit in my little bit of exposure to the military, and also Boy Scouts, and then it carried over to my work world. There are certain personalities that understand that life's a game, and this adversity, although it would be, I agree with you, is personally uncomfortable. But if you look at the big picture and that you're part of something bigger than you, I think if you can focus on that thing, it makes for a good spec ops person or a good project manager. Although I want to be careful when we're comparing these two. I don't want to in any form or fashion pretend like a project manager has the same mental, physical fortitude that a spec op person. But there is a little bit of a parallel also from a psychological perspective.